Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Janice, creator of Pinoy Tech Dad. Today we're going to be talking about the Realme X3 and we'll find out if this is a great flagship killer option in 2020. Alright, so we're not going to do a quick unboxing on this because it's pretty much been talked about by all the tech YouTubers out there. But I'm going to show you the ports that we have here. So at the bottom we have a SIM card tray, a microphone, a USB Type-C port, and a down-firing speaker. On the right portion we have a side-mounted fingerprint scanner which is on top of the power button. On the left side we have the volume rockers. At the top we have a noise-canceling microphone. And then we have a matte finish back panel. This reminds me a lot of the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro back panel and I love this. I actually love this. And then we have a quad camera setup highlighted by its 64 megapixel camera as well as its periscope zoom lens right here. And then we have the Realme branding as well on the lower left corner. And of course, I always forget this, at the front we have a dual punch hole front facing camera as well, which looks a lot like the Realme 6 Pros. Here are its specs. This is equipped with a Snapdragon 855 Plus, which means this is gonna perform like a flagship. Now, if you're not satisfied with that explanation, here's its Antutu benchmark points for your reference. So it was able to get 492,000 Antutu benchmark points. That's a lot considering that mid-range phones with 720G processors usually get around 270,000+ points on Antutu benchmarks. But of course, this is not close to what the Snapdragon 865 processor can bring you, which is close to 600,000 Antutu benchmark points. But let's not dwell on those benchmark points, okay? I'm just here to tell you that this actually performs like a flagship level phone. All of the games that you throw at this and all of the apps that you actually use, this will be able to run it. You won't have any issues when it comes to performance on the Snapdragon 855 Plus running on this Realme X3. You basically get flagship performance at less than flagship price. Now we do have a drop off when it comes to the display quality because it's an IPS LCD display. It's not an AMOLED display, so that's kind of a shame considering that its main rival, the Redmi K30 Pro or the Poco F2 Pro, has an AMOLED display. Now what it does have that the competition doesn't have is a 120Hz refresh rate. Yes, it gives you the illusion that your phone is performing faster because of the smoothness of the display, but overall it's not really gonna matter for performance. But if you're gonna make me choose between a fluid display that is LCD versus a 60Hz AMOLED display, I will personally pick the AMOLED display all the time. And you know the drill. Overall, the colors are punchy, they look vibrant, the images look sharp, and of course the motion looks fluid. So enjoy these visually stunning images that I'm showing you when it comes to the display on the Realme X3. Right, next let's talk about gaming on this. There's no game that it doesn't run. Of course, I've tested the popular ones, the Black Desert Online, Mobile Legends, Call of Duty, PUBG Mobile, and on top of that, I was able to play emulated games as well and it ran them perfectly. And surprisingly, I never experienced any heating issues on this as well. I guess the Snapdragon 855 Plus is very power efficient. I'm not sure on that because this is the first phone with the Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset that I was able to test. I was surprised with the cooling performance on this because it never really got hot to the point where it got uncomfortable. I really love the Realme X3 for playing games. When it comes to the quality of its camera, I mean, you get really great images on this, very sharp images, but that should be something to be expected of a flagship killer level phone. Now, it's equipped with a 64 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, and a 2 megapixel macro lens, which again, we never ask for. Now, the 12 megapixel telephoto lens allows you to zoom in up to 60 times zoom. That's even more than my Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro, which can zoom up to 50 times using its 108 megapixel sensor. But let's go ahead and take a look at the photo samples. also use an ultra-wide setting for the front-facing camera, but you lose the ability of having the stabilization feature. Anyway, it's a really good feature to have two punch-hole front-facing camera, one for ultra-wide and one for the standard wide-angle lens. So those were our camera samples, including the videos. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Now, I just want to point out something that Realme is advertising this for, which is for astrophotography. So if you're thinking that you'll be able to get better astrophotography on the Realme X3 as compared to other phone cameras out there, you might be misled because you can actually take good astrophotography using other phones as well. Now, let's talk about battery. I really wish that Realme X3 had a bigger battery capacity because at 4,200 milliamp hours, it's small for my liking, because I would have loved for it to have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery capacity, but it is what it is. Anyway, we do get a full day's worth of use for this. If you're using this normally with regular browsing, with Facebook and some gaming as well, you'll only need to charge this once a day. But if you're a heavy user and you're on mobile data for the whole day, you might be charging this twice a day, which is not an issue for me personally because that is what I typically do with my phones anyway. But for some of you, that might be an issue, so you might want to check out other phones with bigger battery capacity. Alright, so I think we've talked about everything that I want to say about the Realme X3. What do I think about it? Well, this is actually a great phone. It has great camera quality for a flagship killer level phone. Next up, the design. I love the design on this. You don't even need to put a case on this to be able to use this. It's still gonna smudge, but it's not gonna smudge as much as a glass or shiny back panel. And of course, the processor that it's equipped with. You have a Snapdragon 855 Plus, which can run all of the current apps right now in 2020. So you'll be able to use this for a few more years. Now, the downside on this is that it doesn't have expandable memory. It was off to a great start, and then you remove the expandable memory. Oh. Now, another omission that really is a head scratcher for me is the headphone jack. Why would they take off the headphone jack on the phone? Now, I'd rather have a headphone jack instead of the periscope zoom, because how many times are you actually gonna use 60 times zoom on your phone? I mean, I've barely used my Mi 10 Pro's 50 times zoom. A headphone jack would have been nice instead of the periscope zoom, but let's cut the crap from the marketing BS of the astrophotography and the zoom and all that. Let's just go straight to what it actually brings and provides its consumers, you guys. It provides you flagship level performance. It gives you a premium quality phone. And again, if you're looking for another flagship killer option, this is a great option for you as well. If you don't like the design on the Poco F2 Pro, camera is great. It's not gonna have the 8K video recording, but who cares? I mean, 8K is too much for now. Also, if you want more information about the Realme X3, go ahead and check out the Gadget Gang, Sulatech Reviews, and Gadget Sidekick for their own reviews on the Realme X3. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell button so you can watch more videos like this in the future. That's it for today, guys. Keep safe and have a great day.